I'm glad to see you guys here. I am finally back. This is a great opportunity for me to actually jumpstart my new Gamers Play channel. As you can see, I could actually did a little bit of tweaking here and there to make sure that I actually get everything somewhat perfect. Of course, I'm on a potato chip diet and my, things are out of whack. But you know what? I'm going to do the best I can to give you the best I possibly can in my show. But, once again, this is a channel about gaming. It's not about drama. I actually come here to talk about what's going on in the gaming industry. I'm here to talk about the newer games that are coming out. I'm talking about the games that I've played. I'm talking about games that are in the arcade. And, of course, I want the opportunity to be able to interact with you guys, the gamers themselves. And I want to get your opinions as well. So, let's get this party started. So, let's begin with why I am doing this. Well, it turns out that the gaming industry has kind of got flipped on its head, and the thought of having gaming as a medium is a great thing, but the problem is I believe right now gaming has gotten so big that no one knows what to do with it anymore. It's bigger than the biggest entertainment medium in the world. It's bigger than music. It's bigger than movies. Hell, it's bigger than television. But the problem is, I actually have been a little bit upset because gamers out there are starting to create their own agendas when it comes to gaming. But we'll get further into that. Let me just get started to where I want to take this channel. This channel is going to be about the gaming culture. We want to bring it back to the way things, I guess, should have been. Video games used to be taboo. Everyone knows this. Video games used to be a thing only nerds used to play. Everyone used to get laughed out of the classroom. You get laughed out of your gaming, your friend circles, and you call you a weirdo. They call you a nerd. They throw you into a corner. Well, who's laughing now? Video games are much bigger than than I could have even thought of. And now, this is really a great opportunity for us to show the world why video games are the most powerful and meaningful medium that can bring people together, that can give people a common ground to merge video games into all the mediums, which is actually starting to right now. We talked about is merging into music, is merging into the movie industry. Now the movie industry is starting to take notice. Is merging into TV, as integrated in most commercials, TV, memorabilia, T-shirts, hats, you name it. Video games are here to stay. But I believe with great power comes greater responsibility. And it's up to us as gamers to come together and create something that actually can grow the industry into something much bigger than what it could be. I mean, it could be a global impact thing. But I think that you and I know that video games can actually make this happen. But it all starts with you, the gamers. So, first topic of the day. Why are we gaming? This is something that I've been thinking about for a long period of time. I feel like, okay, why do I game? Game because I'm bored? Do I game because I have nothing to do? Do I game because I'm depressed? Do I game because it's something I'm competitive? I really want to take out my aggression. Well, it's all those things. And then some. So, I feel that video games can be the gateway into an opportunity to reach out to all the, I guess they call them normies now, the ones who actually aren't into the gaming industry, who have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. They don't know about developers, or they don't know about megabytes or terabytes. They don't know about teraflops. They don't know about the ins and outs. They don't know about E3 or PAX or any of these things. They don't know about any of these things. Well, I think it's an opportunity for us to kind of show them in a good way. There's been a lot of negativity on the webs as of late. We're going to get into that topic in a little bit, but let's get into the nitty-gritty. Video games, where it came from, right? And where we can actually have it grow from. Everyone says nostalgia is a hell of a drug, and it certainly is. But there's one certain thing that I've really have been looking into that people just don't understand. Why? Okay, I'll tell. Let me get into some thoughts here. Okay, I don't want to go into a tangent, so let's get into some thoughts. Video games. All right. Number one, when it comes down to playing games, I guess with your friends or whatever, right? You're having a good time. You're comfortable. You're comfortable around them, right? And then you have the strangers, the ones who you have no association with whatsoever. You don't know how they feel about gaming. You have no idea who they are in the hole in the wall. Yet you probably played a couple of matches with them in Call of Duty, or probably played a couple of matches of Apex or Overwatch, or better yet, and everything. You probably buddied up with them in World of Warcraft. But then you start to see the other side, where they feel like, okay, well, I don't feel attached. They feel more detached, and they see that they feel like they don't belong. Well, that's where we step in. I feel like nostalgia, the strongest thing that we actually, as old school gamers, those who've been there from the very beginning. We're talking about the Amigas, the Ataris, the arcade scene, the old Sega and Nintendo Entertainment System. That crowd, the ones who actually kind of were there in the beginning, where video game industry almost destroyed itself and everything, but then built itself up. We actually have an opportunity as gamers to reach out to them, show our expertise and everything and what gaming was, and actually kind of reach out and say, hey, you know what? I know some games that are similar to this that you might be interested in. Let's chat about it. Let's talk about it. Let's play a few games. I really feel like we, okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, kumbaya. But you know what? Now this world has been going through a lot of chaos. I think right now is a time for us to try to heal. Can we start making 2023 more of an opportunity for us to kind of bond together in a common ground when it comes to gaming? I feel like video games can be it. I get it. People feel like they have all this aggression. They have all this pent up aggression. But video games can be the highlight of what gaming can actually become. So, this is what my channel is about. My channel is for us to explore go out into the world, play some games, find out new experiences, talk with the common folk about all the newer games, and of course, you know, kind of indulge into some nostalgia. Check out some retro games. Maybe pick up a few. You can join me in my journey. It's a great opportunity. So, why not start there? So, let's get into the weeds of where we want to go. Okay, let's make this topic number one. That's my intro. So let's go into topic number one. I've noticed lately that people are trying to define what a gamer actually is. Now, gaming is, you know, it's a hell of a drug. It's a thing that helps us in our darkest times to kind of escape, get away, right? But the problem is that there are folks out there that are defining gaming, a gamer, so to speak, as someone who should beat games. If you're a real gamer, you should be able to beat games. When you play the game, you should play the game to its finish. You should be able to you go out and and explore the entire world, find out all the secrets, and actually get 100% and platinum the game, or get 100% the game. That's what real gamers do. Isn't that gatekeeping? You're not really here. You're not growing the industry. You're not growing the industry. And it's something that I feel very adamant about, because we want video games to grow, not shrink. We want video games to actually stretch out into the world. Not fall back. It's like, what are we doing? I mean, is your intention to, go out there and, I guess, scare these people away? I mean, scare the normies away? Oh, I don't want to get into gaming. I mean, look at them. I mean, look where they're becoming. I mean, look, behind the scenes, I've been noticing that a lot of people have been saying some things. Heck, they're not Twitter people. Or some people might call them boomers, right? Or people who are old school. But if I remember correctly, video games used to be more about I don't know, going out and having a good time, having fun. I think so, right? This is a problem that can be doused now, because if we don't douse it now, it's going to become a bigger problem tomorrow. So I think us as responsible, I guess, plucky gamers out there, we have an opportunity to kind of stop and say, okay, if you play a game, you are considered a gamer. Do not take yourself out of the category for your own, I guess, political agenda. Do not try to kind of put yourself outside the circle, because you're already in. Well, as soon as you pick up the controller, as soon as you press those buttons, as soon as you move that character, as soon as you get immersed in those worlds, or in the story, or in the lore of a certain character, you're a gamer, dude. Or dudette. You're a gamer. You game. Now, there are certain categories of gamers. I mean, if that's where you want to get there, there are pro gamers out there who actually do esports. There are hardcore gamers who actually really go into the weeds and everything, try to 100% the games. Then there's the casual gamers, the gamers who actually just pick up the controller once in a while, right? I mean, hell, those who are into the 360, remember the 360? Now, think about this. Those who are into the 360 right now, right? You have those who actually go into the who are more into what the categories are. Now think about the categories. Now the categories are pro gamer, right? They have casual, pro gamer, I think hardcore, and I think there's one other category, right? Now gamers are gamers, but there are certain levels of a gamer as well, right? So let's get into some of the weeds, so to speak. Go into the weeds of why I think that everyone has an opportunity to become a gamer. Now they call yourself a normie, call yourself a casual, whatever you want to call yourself. Listen, if you play a game on your phone, I don't know, Candy Crush or Farmland or I don't know, pick a game. There's a lot of games out there. You're a gamer. My wife, she's a gamer. My sons, they're gamers. Some play more than others. But I think we actually have a problem when we actually sit right there and we label people as as non-gamers because they don't play hardcore like you, or you play certain games like you. And this is another category. This is another problem that I've noticed. When you're actually playing certain games, right? When you're playing certain games, some people consider that your game is not a game because it's not like their game or the game that they play. Oh, if you have a powerful console, you should be able to play. You should play games that actually take advantage of the console, or else it's not a game. Okay, now in what world that you actually come from do you actually go out there and look at something that you pick up a controller with, right? And not call it a game, unless it's not a game. I mean, number one, the internet is not a game. You pick up your mouse and your keyboard and everything. You can pluck away all you want to. You can go on Twitter and whatever you want to do, right? Or Facebook, whatever you want to do. But it's not a game. But if you actually have a power-up console, or you have a Raspberry Pi, or you have your arcade one-ups and everything, or iArcades, and you actually stand up and you actually wiggling that joystick and playing it, something like that, to whatever it is, whether it's 5 minutes or 1 hour, you're gaming. You're playing games. It's a game. It doesn't matter what kind of games that you're playing. You can play indie games, right? And still be a gamer. You can play the hardcore games like Last of Us. You can play games like Horizon Zero Dawn. You can play games like Sea of Thieves. You can play games like Forza Horizon. You can play games like classics like Killzone or Siphon Filter. You can play games like Crash Bandicoot and everything, or Super Mario Brothers. Hell, you can play games like Asteroids, or Sinistar. You're a gamer. You are a gamer. You are a gamer. You play games. And those are games that you are playing. The category is games. And to grow the industry, you need to stop gatekeeping. Stop the gatekeeping. Be more open to allowing people to game on what there is, because you never know. You might get inspired by something that someone else is playing. You might have discovered, oh wow, I didn't know this game actually had X, Y, or Z. You never know. So chill out, guys. Come on, it's all about the games. Anyway, if you are still here and you actually checking out my channel, why don't you go ahead and try to hit the subscribe button. Hold on a second, let me just find that little button here. There we go. Hit that like and subscribe button. Just check me out. If you like what I'm saying. Anyways, getting back to what I'm going to. Oh, I think it showed up. Ah, there we go. There we go. So why don't you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and thing. You know, if you actually like what I'm saying or you actually agree with what I'm saying, why don't you go ahead and, you know, leave a couple of comments here and there. You know, I don't care. I'm gonna be on here for the next 30 minutes or so. So getting back to what I'm trying to say. I think that let's see. I think that the next subject is something that has been becoming very sinister. I have to get into the dark side of what's been going on lately, and I guess you want to have my thoughts. All right. I noticed that on the internet, and I never thought I would see the day that it actually would happen, that now people are starting to create an agenda in gaming. Lately, I think there's a new game, as you might know, Harry Potter. Hogwarts Legacy is coming out, or actually is out. Yeah, you know, people are deciding to stream it, and then we have this group that created a certain website, and I'm not going to put it up there because I don't want anybody to search for it. That is actually targeting. It's targeting these streamers because a couple of things that J.K. Rowling has actually said, some very, I guess you would say, homophobic or slurs and things of that sort, and they are I don't know, just putting up the, I guess they're taking it to heart, and they feel like everything that deals with Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, or whatever it is, you're actually supporting her, and it's wrong, and everyone should ban everything. You know, they should stop sales, or you should actually stop playing the games, or you shouldn't be supporting it at all. I mean, it's the same thing as Atomic what is it called? Atomic Heart, I think it's called. It's coming out for the Xbox on Game Pass, as well as it's coming out for the PlayStation, I believe. I think 6 months later or something like that. If you're supporting that game, you're supporting the agendas in Russia because of the war. You're supporting the war, and I feel like, you know, what about the devs? I mean, aren't we having an issue? We're having an issue with people losing their jobs. So you're gonna sit right there and you're going to, I guess, punish those who actually spent all their time and effort to create these games for your entertainment, just because of a certain thing that people actually do not like. Now, don't get me wrong. What she said was wrong. What she said was wrong, and the things that she actually has put out there is completely wrong. Yes, I despise what she actually said. But on the other hand, you know, we're talking about the game here. The game looks beautiful. The game looks amazing. I mean, I haven't yet picked it up yet, but I will be picking it up, and I will be trying and playing it. I might even stream it. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who are going to get flack for doing these things, and they're going to keep on getting flack for it. But remember, you know, it's a game. It's a video game, you know. And I feel like it's sad that video games have gotten to this state where people are now starting to, you know, pigeonhole you into this certain category because you actually support what somebody has actually said. I thought this is about having fun, about playing video games, and that's what it's supposed to be, right? Video games are really, really important, right? What are we doing? What can we do? What is the opportunities that we actually have out there? You know, I feel like I don't know. I feel like everyone is really starting to, I guess, getting to their own about, you know, what's right and wrong. And I don't know how we as gamers can improve on this certain thing. I mean, people are afraid to say how they feel, and there are people out there who don't care what other people actually feel when even their views are wrong and misconstrued. You know, I mean, I don't like to get into something depressing, especially on my first episode. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there because this is like the first half an hour of my show. But I want to get into some of the fun stuff, and I think so. Just bear with me. We as gamers, you know, should unite. We should be one family of gamers. Yes, we all have our preferences, just like people who actually watch football and baseball, who play tennis or go to the latest football or soccer stadiums to see their favorite team play for their favorite country. You know, but we're all under the same umbrella. We are all gamers. And I feel we together can actually make the difference. So, getting off of that, let's get into some of the agendas or some of the fun things that have been going on in the industry. Just give me 1 second. I've actually been fooling around with this Elgato app, and it's actually been helping me out quite a bit. Let's see here if I can find it. Boom. All right, here we are. So, I've been trying to figure this thing out for the longest. So there are quite a few things that are going on. I mean, everyone's been seeing Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush is an amazing game, and I tell you what, if you haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, I don't know what you're what you're waiting on. This is actually a great opportunity for you to kind of jump on and give it a shot. I think you should. I mean, what are you waiting for? Let's see. Find it. Yeah. Oh boy. Hi-Fi Rush. My gosh. What an amazing game. You must pardon my sons. They're actually having a lot of fun playing with their friends, and they like to be very, very loud. But let's see if I can find a nice good image on it. Let's see. Alright. So, anyways, how you guys doing? You know, what's been going on with you guys? I mean, what you been gaming? What have you been playing? You know, let me know in the comments below, or the side. You know, just let me know what you've been playing. I know I've been having a heck of a good time with yeah, here we go. I think we got a good picture here. Let me try to enlarge that. There we go. And I think we got a source. got it. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Got it. Got it. Wow. Think I got it. Think I got it. Man. You know, I've had this OBS for like a while, and you know, I'm still discovering things on this darn thing. I'm still discovering it. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. Now, boom. Excellent. So, Hi-Fi Rush. What an amazing game. You know, created by the team over at Tango Gameworks, from the recently acquired company called Bethesda, like from Microsoft, and the Xbox team. So now they're part of Xbox Game Studios, obviously. And I tell you what, man, I there's been a lot of games that really grabbed my attention, but Hi-Fi Rush, man, has done it for me, man. It really has. I mean, don't get me wrong. When it boils down to Hi-Fi Rush, I mean, I can. I can let me see here. Hold on, let me see if I can get some good footage here. Yeah. There we go. Alright. Yeah, give a nice little trailer going here. Alright. So, I mean, look, this game is amazing. But look at this game. Look at it. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, the music, the animation, the graphics, the story. Now, it's really one of those games that I just couldn't put down. And I mean, even though it took me a week, it's like I was afraid that I was actually going to finish it in one sitting. I really was. But the game was just too darn good. You basically you play as a character named Chai, who is actually a wannabe rock star who kind of, you know, who gets kind of caught up with this company called the Vandalay Industries to have an augmented body or augmented arms through technology. But of course, Vandalay Corp actually has their own agenda, and he just kind of gets swooped into, you know, what this conspiracy actually is. And of course, this guy, you know, he's pretty much, I guess you could say he's not clueless, but more of a hot-headed type of teenager who decides, hey, you know what? Yeah, granted. You know, and meets up with characters such as Cinnamon and and I mean they have all these different flavors. I mean, let me see. There's Cinnamon. There's see. Well, there's Chai. There's oh my gosh. Yeah. So I feel like the game, you know. This type of game is something that everyone should actually get your hands on. and it's free on Game Pass, so you can actually be able to. Well, not free on Game Pass, but it's part of Game Pass, and it's also it's only about 30. I think it's like $30 or something like that. $30 for the game by itself, and it's like $39.99 with the deluxe edition, which is pretty darn cool. I mean, but the game, I mean, it's roughly about a 10-hour game, give or take, a little over 10 hours. If you want to get everything, roughly about 19 hours, maybe a little bit more. You actually can be able to unlock a extra mode once you finish the game, and you will not be able to get the achievement for full completion until you actually beat every single level. That means you have to play it on easy, you have to play it on normal, you have to play it on hard, and you have to play it on very hard. And of course, there's the last mode which you unlock. It's called Rhythm Master. Now, I tell you what, Rhythm Master is one of the most difficult modes, unless you're like really good. And hopefully you got a lot of practice with the parry, you got a lot of practice with the dashing, you got a lot of practice with the timing, because you have to stay above a D, or else it's a game over, and you have to start all over again. So, is it worth it? Absolutely. Is it worth every penny? And this it might sound a little bit. I guess I can't call it bias. You know, you know what? And I can't really compare it to Forspoken. And I mean, I saw the game, and it looks pretty decent. I haven't got an opportunity to play it yet. I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, but if I get an opportunity to play it on PC, I will play it on PC and give it a shot. I just haven't got the opportunity to get it yet. Some people are telling me that's pretty decent, and some people are telling me that I actually have a high-end PC to actually play it, to actually enjoy it. And my PC is just fine the way it is. I just don't feel like upgrading it just yet. So, like I told you, I'm on a potato chip budget right now. So, yeah, bear with me. I'll get there. This should be a very interesting thing, you know. So, lemonade, very nice. Moving on to the next thing. Let's talk about E3 for a second. And I tell you what, E3 is one of those one of those things that I'm actually going to have to I'm really gonna have to get into. Hold on a second. E3. Can't seem to find my images. And all my images are actually completely lost in here. You know, but I'll find it. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Just find it. So, oh, yeah, I'm glad you guys are getting on, coming to help me out with this journey, because this journey is going to be a little rough, but it's going to, it's going to be a learning experience, and you know what? I'm just going to keep on trudging along. And you know what? I mean, I love subscribers. I love to get new subscribers, but I really want to push more of a genuine opportunity here. Let's see if I can find my images. Got a lot of stuff here. Got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Oh, here we go. I think I found it. Yeah. Yep. Here it is. Oh boy, oh boy. I have it all on my folders. My folders are all over the place. There we go. There it is. Perfect. Alright, let's see. Alright, here we go, Angry Joe. Boom. Alright. Oh, shout out to Angry Joe. Angry Joe, you're an awesome guy. I hope I get to meet you in the future. But like I said, you know, this is actually a learning experience and everything. Through hell or high water, mistakes are gonna happen, and I'm gonna get better. So let's roll. Alright, so E3. Is it gonna happen? Alright, well, let me give you my thoughts. Alright, E3 is an extremely important part of the video game industry. And I'll tell you the reason why. And I'm actually going to give you my solid thoughts with it. You know, I'm not going to go out to a tangent, but I actually do have bullet points on why gamers play, and the folks that I know who have grown up around video games feel that without E3, the industry is going to implode. E3 used to be a vendor's paradise. It's actually for vendors. But a lot of the stores used to go there to find out what new games are over there and are coming out in the future, and they can actually make the decision to find out if a certain game is worth buying for their stores or their branches of the stores, and how to allocate it, and also what the plans are for the future. But lately, I think before the pandemic, E3 has been going through some growing pains. Number one, Sony Interactive Entertainment decided to pull out of E3. I believe after the last one was at 2019. They decided to kind of pull away and say, you know what, we don't want to spend the money or spend the budget on coming to E3, buying the floor space and spending the millions of dollars on all the displays and what have you, and flying all of our employees over to the venue. Another thing is that the press have been having issues with, you know, booking their times to be able to talk with the devs, to be able to talk with both the creators and what have you, and the collaborations. And they go to these meeting rooms, small little dinky meeting rooms, to actually either ask questions or they get a preview on what is coming up next. And of course, in the days of YouTube and what have you, a lot of influencers were starting to come around, and they started to become part of media, and they want their information also, so they want to get their share, and they can be able to with their cameras and their cell phones and their little mini mics, and to be able to record on what is known as the E3 experience and bring it home to their viewers. Problem is that one dreaded year where Dr. Disrespect actually did something that was actually disrespectful. And the huge data breach completely, put ETH and also the ESA and a few other things in bad shape, as well as Microsoft's after party, which was very controversial as well. I have to bring that up as well. So, and here we are today. The pandemic that happened in late 2019, I think it was 2019, 2020, actually put everything to a standstill. E3 was going to be doing another venue, but they had to cancel it due to COVID protocols. And then, of course, they had streaming events, which was actually out of sorts. Microsoft did a little small streaming event, and it didn't bode very well. The bad showing of Halo, and of course the lack of some first-party games, and and of course Sony not showing up at all. Nintendo with their very little they just showed on the show floor. Yeah, it wasn't looking too good. So now, E3 actually skipped a couple of years. They made a big announcement that, I forgot to mention. Yeah, Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley was actually having a falling out with E3 as well. It turns out that he didn't want to be part of the ESA anymore, and he wanted to go out and do his own thing. And he do his own thing. He did. He created the Game Awards, and he created called the Summer of Gaming, which is doing fairly successful. The first one was not so great. The second one was a little bit better, but still not as great. And the third one was pretty damn decent. It was in person, but once again, it wasn't great. It wasn't the same. And of course, the streaming events through all the big hitters and a few of the smaller ones as well. But this is where I come to terms with the reasons why I feel like people don't want E3 to come back. They feel like E3 has pretty much died after 2019, and that it will never come back. That the old school thinking of E3 and the empty floors, and of course, even with the new management under Reed Pop, who actually is in charge of PAX events and Comic-Cons, won't bring it back to its former glory, because once again, digital events actually seem a little bit better. They seem more bite-sized and more spread out. Problem is, and people actually don't realize this, is that now it's going to spread all of the creators a little too thin, because everyone is going to be wanting to go on the stream. Everyone wants to, and you're not going to get the same viewership, and of course you're going to get the afterthoughts. But the afterthoughts, they're a dime a dozen. Everyone has their own afterthoughts, and I believe it or not, me too. I certainly do as well. But the thing is that the E3 experience is different for everybody. When you're at E3 and when you're on that floor, it's different because you're actually there. You get to experience. It's an experience, and I feel that people have lost that thought process. People are all about the business. People are all about, okay, let me just go in there, get my video game information, and get out. I'm sorry, but if you have a big team, you should actually have one person who is dealing with the media, one person who's out there kind of talking about collaborating and getting the pictures on the floor. You have another one who's actually interacting with the fans. You have another one who's actually doing some other things as well, and they're actually kind of make the amalgam and put it together, and then boom, you have it there. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. This is why I feel the E3 experience. I just want to say this. The E3 experience is something that is actually necessary in video games because video games is supposed to be interactive. It's interactive entertainment. That's what it used to be called. Interactive entertainment. Video games used to be called interactive entertainment. You interact. You're out there and you are playing the games, but you're also, with other gamers as well. Don't you want to share that experience? Which actually doubles back to what I was saying before. Video games is supposed to be a together thing. It's about coming together as gamers, as an industry, to grow bigger than it ever was before. A shared experience that actually makes gaming grow, helps the industry look at us in a broader scope, which is the reason why the FTC and the CMA and the EU and all these regulators out there, they had no clue what video games industry is actually like. Gee, I wonder why. Because we are so enclosed. We need to shed that shell and actually go out there and tell them and show them what video games are all about. So, in my final thoughts, you need to go out there as gamers, have a good time, share your experience, make everybody feel more welcome, and the video game industry will grow. So, now that I got that all off my chest, this is actually my first episode. First episode coming back from a long hiatus, trying to figure out what kind of thing I actually wanted to do. Yes, I'm actually going to do some live segments, but I'm also going to do some pre-recorded as well. So look forward to that as well. I'm actually doing a new thing called Retroller Mondays. Every Monday, I'm actually going to I'm going to be doing retro gaming my way. It's going to be dealing with arcades. It's going to be dealing with console games. It's going to be dealing with classic games. Some games that came out for the Xbox way back, Sega Saturn, the Genesis, Super Nintendo. I'm actually going to be going through all those games, and I'm going to share my experiences with you. Probably either beat the game or actually get further into the game. Maybe try to do a couple of speed runs. Maybe even try to get a high score or two. Who knows? And of course, I'm also going to have other segments as well, dealing with new gaming stores. I'm actually got a chance to visit a awesome store in the Palisades Mall, which is actually in Nyack, which is not too far from where I live, over in Nyack, New York. In Westchester? No, it's actually Rockland. I'm sorry, Rockland County in New York. A great place is actually called True Believers, which is actually a place that actually has retro games, retro cards like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic, a heck of a lot of pop, and a few other things as well. So I'm actually going to be doing a video very soon that's going to be coming up in the upcoming weeks. And on Friday, I'm actually going to do what you call a recap, basically on all the things that are happening in the industry. I'm actually going to be a little bit more organized because, of course, this episode is kind of like an entry point, so you get to see exactly where I'm going to be going with this. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it. And I think that's it. So, anyway, I am glad that you all had an opportunity to spend some time with me. Once again, why don't you give me a like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you really, really want to, why don't you go ahead and drop me a line on my Twitter page. That is at HUD0. It's at HUD0, of course. Anyways, it's been fun. So, like, I just want to leave you a couple of things. Remember, gaming is all about games, right?